Hey, welcome back to another cigar review. My name is Josh, and today I am smoking the Plasencia Alma Fuerte Sixto. Now, before I get into this cigar today, one thing I will say is that I'm experimenting a little bit with the lighting on this video. My YouTube channel is still in its early days right now, so I'm still trying to figure everything out, but I want to see how this light fares. So we'll see how it goes from here. If I like it, we'll continue to be like this. But if you have any feedback for me as far as what you think will help my channel produce higher quality content, I would love to hear your suggestions. Let's get back to the review. If you're a fan of the cigar industry, if you love the cigar culture and you love cigars in general, one thing I want to stress, and one thing is very important, is that you have to be supporting your local shops. And I'm not saying be anti-online shopping for cigars, but the biggest reason why I think the cigar industry is still alive and flourishing and growing the way it is today is the fact that we have local businesses and brick and mortar shops that are selling cigars, and not only selling the cigars but providing a place for community for others. I'll tell you right now that it's not the cigars that got me into the industry, it's the culture and it's the people who are a part of this industry that really has drawn me more and more over the past couple of years. And the reason why I bring that up is today the cigar that I'm smoking is another cigar that has been given to me by a very good friend of mine that goes to my local cigar lounge. And again, that's just another testament of the kind of people that you get to meet. You know, the nicest, most generous people smoke cigars. So don't let any of the stigmas steer you away from the cigar industry, because some of the best people I've ever known in my life I met just being a part of this culture. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the cigar. So the Plasencia Alma Fuerte is a Nicaraguan Puro. Plasencia has been growing for a long time in Nicaragua and making the best cigars for a bunch of third-party companies. So what they decided to do is they wanted to make their own cigars and put their own name on it. And they really made a statement over the last couple of years, because in 2017 by Cigar Aficionado they were rated number 9 cigar of the year. This is a very high quality cigar, because before this cigar was even rolled, the tobacco used for it was aged for 10 years. And then when they box pressed it, which is another unique thing about it, it is hexagon pressed. So when they had it in the hexagon press, they had it aging for another 9 months in that press. So before I light this up, I just want to really appreciate the hands that go into making this cigar, the time it takes to produce this cigar. So this is a very good cigar, and it is worth every dime. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and cut this cigar, let's light it up, and then we'll review it a little bit more. Alrighty, so today I'm going to use a little bit different cutter. I'm not going to use the Gurkha cutter that I usually use. I'm going to be using a V cutter, which is very nice. I can't remember who it's made by, sorry, but the reason why I'm using a V cutter instead of the straight guillotine is because it's a 60 ring gauge, and personally I would say that to have the best draw possible, now I'm not doubting the draw on this cigar at all, but to have the best draw possible, especially for a larger ring gauge, I think it's good to use a V cut, and this V cut is actually pretty deep. So let's go ahead and cut it. So let's go ahead and test the draw on this. It is a little bit resistance, but again, it's probably my fault with the V-cut. It's not going to affect the cigar any as far as the way it performs. But yeah, when I'm pulling that cold draw through, I'm getting a lot of rich, let me see. It's sweet, almost like dried fruit, and it's also rich, a little bit earthy as well. That's 2 notes I've already distinguished without even lighting this cigar. It is a very oily wrapper, beautifully rolled. It smells exactly the way it tastes on the cold draw. So, man, I am excited about this. So, let's go ahead and light it and then go from there. Alright, that is a very beautiful taste. Man, it is so smooth. You will be surprised at how smooth this cigar is. Do not be intimidated on the color of this cigar, because usually with a darker cigar you're going to get a stronger, it's going to have stronger notes. But this is the smoothest cigar, Maduro cigar I've had, I think. And the flavor is very creamy, smooth, also a little cocoa-y, and it's very subtle on that dried fruit and earth as well. Awesome. So I'm already in love with this cigar. I'll get through the first third and then we'll go from there. So stick with me. I have a lot to say about this cigar. I just don't know how to put it into words, because if I'm being honest, I just want to shut up and enjoy this. But I will say that I'm getting very strong, rich earth and cocoa with a little bit of spice and dried fruit on the finish. And when I retrohale it, I get a lot of notes of that same earth and that same cocoa, but I also get some espresso, again with the same spice and dried fruit also. So this flavor is very prominent and it's very smooth. It's very easy on the mouth. It's just, I mean, that's just the sign of that age. Man, it's freaking good. So we'll go ahead and enjoy it down to the next portion, and then we'll go on from there. Alright, I'm in the second portion of the cigar, and before I describe everything, I'm going to go ahead and get the band off. It's about time for that, I think. There's nothing worse than a cigar band that is stuck to the leaf, but not in this case. Alright, so for the most part I'll say the flavor has been consistent, although I will say that at this portion the earthy note that I've been getting is more prominent. Now I'm still getting that cocoa. Also when I retrohale, I'm hardly getting any cocoa at this point, but I'm getting a really strong coffee. And then also it has an earthy has an earthy finish. So it's still smoking very well. It's burning sharply. It's actually a slow burning cigar. For one, it's a thicker ring gauge, and I'm really glad about that, because you should really take time to enjoy this cigar. So this is not meant for a quick smoke break. This is meant for the end of the day. You're sitting down, kick your boots off, and enjoy it. So yeah, let's go ahead and smoke it down to the last third, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I'm on the last bit of the cigar. The flavor has actually remained pretty consistent, which is a good thing. Personally, I don't know if I want this cigar to be too complex for me to enjoy to the fullest. So the flavor is perfect. It still has that earthy and a little bit of cocoa. Now I will say on the retrohale, that is where it is the most, it's the strongest as far as the coffee note goes. Excuse me. And the earth is still there, but more so on the finish. Again, it's still smooth. It still tastes very great. So, you know, if I'm being really honest with you, I've not had this cigar before. I had it before in a different Vitola, but this, for some reason, the Sixto, you know, it's the 60 ring gauge hexagon press. For some reason, I like this cigar 10 times more than the first Vitola I had, which was just the regular box press Toro. And I will say that this is coming very close to the 505 Nicaragua as far as it being might be my new favorite cigar. So it's a dang good cigar. So yeah, alrighty, well go ahead and finish it up, and then I will deliver my final thoughts, so stay tuned. Alright, unfortunately for me, this cigar is about done. And I will say, for Plasencia to only be making cigars with their name on it, just for the last couple of years, the fact that this has a number 9 Cigar of the Year in 2017 shows how much quality they produce. And so, you know, this was them making a statement saying, hey, we make great cigars. And I have to give it to them, they do. So the MSRP for this cigar is $21, and I think it's worth every dime. So they've got 5 generations of experience of growing tobacco, and they're the largest tobacco grower in the industry as far as I know. Plasencia, probably one of my favorite brands overall, and if I find a cigar that's made by them, I can almost bet it's going to have the exact same quality as this $21 cigar, even if it's an $8 cigar or anything like that, because Plasencia really does well with their products. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about this cigar. It was a fantastic cigar. Matt, thank you so much for allowing me to review this cigar. And yeah, my next video, actually, I'm going to be reviewing the Oliva Serie V Milanio in the Robusto size. So yeah, if you're interested, go find that cigar. If you can find it, grab it, smoke it with me as I review it, and let me know if you agree with my review or disagree. But I think it's important that you guys know what I'm going to be reviewing next. But as always, I want to thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for allowing me to do what I love to do. And make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, share it with people who are interested in cigars. And with all that being said, have a great day. Let's do that. Let's do another take on that.